absolutely out of their mind. Like we said, from the rest of the squad as well, each of them almost having their individual hero moments. And so with that on the table, right now, it's up to Maryville University to try and match Nightblood Gaming and stop them before things spiral too far out of control. Otherwise, this could be a 2-0 stop.
And blow for blow, that's how they need to match it. NBG already making some noise on this Sage wall that Giza is right in front of, and so is Chloric. In fact, he'll make some early shots to try to sell the distance, and Giza already given away after the first step up, but both of those step ups dealt with from NBG. A good start for Maryville already, but Giza ducking into the open room. It's going to be traded back by Chloric, who will now step back after being down to 20 HP. He can escape. Screwface stepping out alone into the 1v2 on top of the Toxic Orb. Tough to do. But Kumi also has no free way of getting out. Doesn't have a full clear of mid, so it's going to be slow going coming back. Chloric low, though, and holding this peak with Ange. And BG could have a way back into this.
It's going to be tough if they're able to find it, though, because I love the way that Maryville University held it. Chloric now really just turning up on this last one, especially with how things go. But Screwface finding Ange is an excellent opener here. Zerona just missing the timing. Might make this more possible for Nightblood Gaming to sneak away with this round.
Screwface has got to commit to planting this, and that'll leave an opportunity for Zerona to start creeping in. Kumi having to play guard dog on so many angles, and he's going to give away the footsteps. That should allow for the backstab and the pinch, actually. Too many angles to manage, and Screwface going to extend back away to try and get some easy peaks, but that just allows more times that MU can reset this timer that you have to plant on, and at the end of the day, it'll be on the default, but still, a 2v2 now, and Chloric and Zerona are low as can be. Takes one shot, and Kumi has enough time to pull out the pistol. NBG might just turn this around. Chloric entering with just 1 bullet's worth of HP to his name onto the spike with nothing in the kit. How has this come about? Reset after reset. Kumi, though, found but not clocked, and Kumi coming out with 3 on his own to give NBG the pistol.
See, when I was taking notes on that round, things I wanted to highlight there, at first I started with the Sage wall, the barrier orb being placed up here. Excellent bait, exactly like you said, with making sure that Chloric was taking some of those long-range shots, setting it up so that it tricks the opponent. And then this time around, at the very end of the round, Nightblood Gaming just consistently tapping this spike, teasing Maryville University like, you know, we're planted this time, you should push into it. And then just making sure that Kumi can find kills, find those timings before the agents even moved in. And so a lot of bait and switch from both of these squads, but very conventional stuff that we're seeing just at the start there to deny the defensive ultimate orb grab. And yeah, that's going to be Nightblood Gaming doing an excellent job at zoning out Maryville University. On the other side, though, Maryville have taken quite a few advanced steps forwards, which does mean that Nightblood Gaming, unless they overpower those defenders, it's looking like they're going to have to end on this A site.
And Maryville doing a good amount of legwork for a round that they don't have much for, forcing NBG to kind of just commit to this push. Great flush with the fragment, forcing out the toxic screen earlier than intended. Now the knife to shut down all of that presence here. And with the toxic screen fading away, Maryville will finally have nothing to really offer to this fight other than their stancing. And that will produce almost nothing. A couple more players to weed through, but NBG stay strong.
Spike planted.
And now Maryville are just kind of doing like damage control protocols. I just want to point out there, Note was the one kind of flying in first on the Viper. Son of Car does have this outlaw, but was playing more passively in the midst of all of this. Kumi spotting out at least one, trying to let Ange take that angle, but does have a little cheeky Bucky here, which could find no value as Kumi shuts that one down. So Nightblood Gaming, once again, a very decisive round. They're able to carry all of their weaponry into this bonus, which does include a Vandal and a couple of Guardians. So all things considered, they're setting themselves up really well for success on this third round.
Calling for the attack to come into this is, nothing new for sure. After getting to see so much of Maryville's defensive game, seeing so much of what makes it easier to take over, like flashing. It's been a little bit better here. But nevertheless, I gotta admire how careful Screwface has been in these opening too, and I'm wondering if that's gonna persist or if they're gonna start confidence peaking once they get that conditioning going.
A bit of early information being given to both sides there, and immediately both kind of retract. As Ange going to be the only one watching this B sight line, playing off the Viper smoke, because he knows that if they are going to engage, the smoke should go up, so we'll have an opportunity to slip away. Reinforcements, though, are coming up pretty quickly. It's going to be up to Note to try and find that timing here, as Ange might be able to walk away with a cheeky kill.
Yep, sure does. And you can pop out again after this knife goes bye-bye. He has some coverage now. Giza, nice confidence. Peek up on that. And so far, so decent for this bonus. Everything kind of wrapped up. MU can start extending a little bit farther. NBG a little bit trapped, but no. Has crept up the 2. Ghost Smiley's gotten away with 1 as well. All of a sudden, Renz is alone on the B side. Hey now, calm down, guys. We're getting away with a little too much at the moment.
30 seconds left.
Yeah, Smartly actually backs up as well, making it so that this is a 3v3 situation. Smiley low HP as well. Just 1 bullet will be more than enough, and Zerona should have the recon dart coming online shortly.
It's the last flash in the tank for Screwface just to reopen Snowman, which he's gone way too far into. Smiley diffing Giza on the 1v1. So you just have this stack from Renz and Zerona left, and Renz is 2 bullets away from going down. All of a sudden, this looks very impossible yet again. Screwface, look at how much space he took, and how much damage he did to Zerona. Yeah, just a pot shot's all you need. What a start from Nightblood. That was a gorgeous 3rd round. Oh my God.
Yeah, that time it really just came down to positioning. You know, they're playing in these crazy positions, understanding how much room they can kind of take on this map. And Maryville University, I mean, it's very timid. Their defensive style is extremely timid, trying to play off of those contacts, but never really fully committing to anything. It really feels like a lot of the gas has just been kind of sucked out of the engine, as Nightblood Gaming have honestly been firing on all cylinders. So it really feels like night and day. Maryville University going to be using a timeout now, very early on, but I think that this one's really important because, quite frankly, it doesn't feel like they've really pulled their mental back from what happened on that last map. And that is going to be extremely important if they want to potentially see Corrode just on the other side. So far, Nightblood Gaming have really just been clapping back every single time. It feels like Maryville University are in the lead.
Yeah, they found the strangest of openings all 3 of these rounds. It's been uncanny. I don't know how many times they're going to be able to get away with it, but it seems like they can keep doing that if Maryville's going to call a timeout this early. I mean, just hand the eco round otherwise. So how do you slow this down? Because the eco is like a little bit unstable for Nightblood. If you can claw this back, make it 3-3 now, then you can still have that like really stalwart icebox defense that MU usually has. But it's like the one opening you have.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I want to see a little bit more confidence come out from Maryville University. The one time that we really saw them get a lot of stuff going was when they went for that trap play right off the back here. Exactly like this, as Giza's finding one, but does get traded.
Keeps hitting heads. He's really on his game at the moment, and it's just been unfortunately underutilized from having these like early holds. But still, good to let MU potentially in the door here as NBG will take pause with 75 seconds to go. And still a lot of this KJ util to burn through with the spike in hand. Smiley's actually going to get left a little alone for the moment. Screwface going to just go check behind him. Yeah, that's what you got to do.
And with the double initiator package as well, you don't really know, just depending on a little bit of utility, where exactly these teams are going to be ending. I do at least like Maryville University. They're not over-rotating. They're playing their time. And they do have some tools to stall this push down as NBG get ready to go.
En's holding this close. Flash in. It's a little messy, but Kumi just fields him away.
30 seconds left.
They don't back out on top of the fragment. NBG, oh, they'll play into Smiley's lurk instead. Very respectful of Maryville, and yet such a stark diff. Oh, Clorix found the step up though. Oopsie. Now B-site is MU's again, and we've run out of time. How the tables have turned with nothing to really work with except this toxic screen. That might just be enough. It's got to stick to this plan. Kumi playing guard dog, but eventually they'll burn through. An unconventional way to get on the board, but Maryville will.
Oh, that time around, it almost felt like Nightblood Gaming used confusion on themselves.
Yeah, I think we overcooked that round just a tiny bit.
And we talk about the confidence, right? Because confidence is something that Nightblood Gaming are going to be entering into this map with. But that time around, I was commenting on how Maryville University were very good at least digging their heels in, trying to play the information game, understand what's going on. And the fact that they still were able to rotate fast enough to be able to shut down everything was what I was worried as Nightblood Gaming made that turnaround. And Ren's starting us off with a kill onto Kumi. Things are looking nice and confident, and Giza finds two.
Yeah, exactly. These are the kinds of things that NBG has always been susceptible to. MU just really hasn't been able to spring it. And when they can take rounds at the drop of a hat. Steady collapse from here. Nothing that NBG has to work with too hard. And the operator as well. So they're going to play uber slow at the moment.
Still looks like they're going to try to make an attempt at this. Ren's watching though. Oh, no, just so good about that.
Wow.
Able to at least get one, but look, the flank is coming online, Tenra.
And now he's going to grab the orb and set up the pit. So intuitive from Note. And again, so confident. You just got to take pot shots if you're MU. No full way in, but yeah, this flank from Ange still has some value. You can maybe find it. That gives him away. He's just trying to make some noise, set Ange up a little bit maybe. So he's downstairs. Oh, no! That's a crucial one. Yeah, that'll hand it to Maryville for sure.
It was an interesting idea to set up the Viper's Pit there, but at the same time, it is such an expensive ultimate.
Yeah.
Of course, though, it is Note, the person who's going to be able to do that, so you know that Note's probably going to be able to get the pit online sooner rather than later compared to some of the other people. And there are a few very key ultimates that Nightblood Gaming still have in their pockets, but what I'm liking from Maryville University right now is the fact that they are willing to take more aggressive angles. They're not playing as passively where they look scattered, look confused. They're moving in there and trying to take timings. And I like it when they do that type of stuff. I think that they set themselves up very nicely with utility, and they've been catching Nightblood Gaming off guard every single time we've seen them do that. It's when they play a little bit too timid that they have those openings, and Nightblood Gaming are ready to just kind of pounce on them. It's going to be a fast firing round this time. Zerona, though, goes in to make sure that the Hunter's Fury is online. That way they've got something to answer against that lockdown if Kumi decides to engage off of it.
You should run.
You can't extend into your own pit from this, so yeah, he's just gonna have to play in the corner of heaven. Smiley has found Zerona after that Harness Fury went through. So the pit can get pushed into pretty confidently, but Giza able to get that res onto Zerona. Keep 5 standing for Maryville University. As NBG have to just, find Ange, but they just can't at the moment. He's so sturdy. And now has extra backup as Giza steps back into the fray. This is a good ultimate setup for Maryville, able to play the economy very well. But NBG able to still get the spike down at least.
Just outside of the pit as well. So Maryville University, they will have to go exploring outside, but look at this position from Note. I think that one's going to be hard to weed out.
Yeah, necessary fragger as always. But on the high ground, it's going to be tough to find Ange. So you find everyone else. Ren's gone. He's a front line. Ange on the other end with a crunch. Smiley fells him, but Zerona deals the damage nice and early, so MU can get this defuse done and dusted with 2 standing. And a couple of their own ultimates to now offer to take the lead back here.
Yeah, and I like the read coming through from Maryville University on that round. As soon as the lockdown happens, we see Zerona pop the Hunter's Fury. It's great. Of course, Smiley on the other end has a Hunter's Fury of their own, uses that as well to take Zerona out so early on. But the fact of the matter is, they're able to shut down the lockdown, allowing Ange's Viper Spit to get maximum value. Because, you know, as soon as I heard the lockdown and then immediately like, oh, the pit's deployed, this is a little bit of a risky gamble. simple here, but it cut off all of those very long sightlines, which was perfect, especially with Chloric shooting down the Owl drone, because then it made him think that the Viper was all the way up there, allowing Ange to just kind of move through there and get a nice little double kill in the middle of the pit. So an excellent response from Maryville University, just keeping checks really on what Nightblood Gaming could potentially do and making sure to counter it with what they've got in their pocket while keeping their ultimate economy very healthy. Now Chloric and Ren's just one ultimate orb away from getting a lockdown, getting those blades online.
It's starting to get really decisive and out of NBG's reach. If they don't restabilize soon, this was definitely the right time to call a timeout and kind of mentally reset. But yeah, like you said, it seems like Maryville had a really decent read on how that was going to play out from the get-go. And now NBG, all the worse for it. Seems like you're going to try and get a null command for Screwface if you want to make this round work, but they might just play for the picks. Giza has started to use this barrier orb more often than not when it comes to B main to sell at least some orb presence. So we'll see how NBG decides to play into that. Right now, they've just got Smiley stuck up on it with his Sheriff and making a little bit of teasing noise with the knife. We've already crept way up mid, haven't we? Wow.
That's a lot of ground taken, and I'm glad that you highlight that. Thankfully, the KJ turret does realize what's going on. Chloric spots one's out. Look at that, note down. That is a lot of pressure off of Maryville's shoulders.
Kumi tries to get away with the second after the first is sold. And then Smiley also dealt with in the B lane duel. So none of these gambles going to pay off this round. It'll cleanly be Maryville's for sure. Can you get rid of at least one weapon here? It's not really, I mean, it is actually quite impactful at the moment. MU's economy is a little worse for wear. And that's Carr's first kill of the game. So a good way to keep NBG in contention this half for sure.
Spike goes down here, an excellent flash, but Chloric finding an early kill. Now it's all on Screwface.
So that should set up Maryville for a good portion of the remainder of this half. After all of that, especially Renz is still holding on to this operator as well. And you've got ultimates to kind of cycle through rounds that are ecoed out as well. NBG are going to have to just make sure they don't fall into this economic snowball, because otherwise 9-3 is definitely on the ropes.
Oh, yeah.
It seems like MU have a very decent read at this point of how things will play out, and they're able to put a stop to things pretty quickly.
Absolutely, and like it just is these peaks around the corner that they are winning out. And honestly, like, sure, Nightblood Gaming, they're taking a lot of space here, but they're not necessarily finding the kills, playing off the utility, playing off the flashes to be able to push through and take that space. So Maryville University, after taking their time out, mind you, string together 4 rounds in a row. Going to be once again the barrier orb getting tossed up there. I know Roy said that he wanted to see how they were going to use it for retake, but actually it's just going to be a denial of information. Null command gets popped. Here come Nightblood Gaming.
Yeah, nothing but W King this time around, and it'll pay off. Ange spotted on Heaven. Zerona able to shut it down, but it's the right body to take care of. And yeah, Screwface calling that really well. The rest of the pile drive from MU does absolutely jack. So it should be pretty decisive from NBG already, and that is the, this is the perfect round to be able to do it. So important that you don't throw it away. Giza walks on, gets 2. Renz clears away Screwface as well. All of a sudden, it's a 2v2. And Renz does have a Blade Storm. And his updraft can get active whenever he so chooses. 2 slow orbs to clear out main. Kumi's on the high, that's why. Shock Dart will do some damage. Giza's just gonna hold it. Smiley clears away 1. It's gotta be on Giza. And off the dart. Has to play it extra safe. Extra tap on the spike, and Smiley shuts down the threat. We're fine. We're tied again. NBG still have a leg in it.
There was a moment there. There was a moment that I believed that that was going to happen. And honestly, like Nightblood Gaming, when they just walk in onto the site, they're crossing their T's, they're dotting their I's, they're being very methodical about how they want to enter there. Just off of a couple of flashes, Son of Car finds a couple of kills, opens things up completely with the null command as well, just kind of guaranteeing entry. And then suddenly, Giza and Renz, they find 3 kills, one right after another, making Nightblood Gaming sweat a little bit. But it's all good. All tied up now, 4-4. A little bit of non-full shields being bought across both sides. As this could be the round that can determine which one of these teams is going to have their economies get broken. Ange, meanwhile, holding an Odin, watching that deep, long sight line. And as we've covered earlier, Odins are kind of tilted. Let's see how this one shakes out as Ange is ready.
Creeping up. Owl drone going to be heard by him. And yeah, he'll take the brunt of it. Hide the operator instead. And let's see if Renz gets any profit from that. Oh, they've already crossed the screen, though. This is dangerous. Oh, he still finds it! Still, though, NBG have rotated over to A main. Giza on top of this close to start things out, as always. Now we'll set up the barrier to go for even more slowdown and let MU go for this stack, maybe sell a potential flank. Everybody set up on top of this.
A lot of pressure here, but great job from Maryville University to really slow down the push just thanks to utility. And look at this, Killjoy ultimate gets popped just as this timer's going down.
Yeah, right as they spring it too, and the Hunter's Fury has to get utilized to try to save face here. NBG does make the press, Carr is on site, and the lockdown is gone. NBG not much time though, and with Giza's res, they just continue to have an army. Carr still working with his backline. 3 kills deep now, but no time to get the spike down. It's gotta be off kills, and he can't manage to get Giza! Those blades only cut into the cube as MU takes the lead.
Oh man, like as soon as they drop the spike there, I'm like, okay, this should be an easy round to win, should be fine. Son of Carr still has a bit of util available, has the Blade Storm activated, goes in for the kill and knew exactly where Giza was. Brought down to such low HP. Giza, just with a classic right click, stays alive in the midst of all of that chaos. It was down to the wire. An excellent attempt from Son of Carr to bring that one back, but Maryville right back into it, as I'm pretty sure on the cameras we saw Giza celebrating there. Some winning out that 1v1 duel just at the very end, just as the timer expired. That one was a little bit of a nail biter, but Maryville, they come out on top. And this time they're now going to be ready, waiting for Ange, who gets spotted out very early on. No other defenders from Maryville, though, as the Nightblood Gaming just plays slowly around this wall.
You gotta remember, that was off of a 4v5. NBG continuing to keep it within inches. And off of this eco, they will do so again. Note, finds Ange on the creep. And so NBG play far more confidently on yellow, sticking Carr and Note there for the time being.
At the same time, Maryville University, they're pushing Giza all the way up. So buying that information that they're not that far onto A, allowing Zerona potentially able to pick up that ultimate orb, get the Hunter's Fury online before the spike goes down.
Classic takeover of the B site. No one falls. Oh, even Screwface gets out, and Carr still a little active. Now everyone from NBG can start double dipping into the fray. It's all about what openings you can find. Cloric will get the first onto Carr on the outskirts of yellow. Lurk check is important, and Giza can manage it. Now it'll be Kumi's turn to once again manage the back line. Oh, never mind. Smiley's gonna take the first blow. That's finally managed, but now the 3 stack from MU has made their way onto yellow, and everyone else is quite low. Kumi, nothing left in the tank. Getting pressured as Zerona holds down the defuse. Hey, that's a little too close for comfort, but Maryville will grab their 6th.
What are these rounds, man? Like, they should not be that close.
Yeah.
Oh man, I was just about to really compliment Giza on that flank there, right? Like being able to move forwards. I already pointed out the fact that they took so much space outside of that A site, understanding that it had to be a B crunch. And sure, Note finds Ange so early on, they're able to get the spike down. And then just a great response from Maryville on the kind of double play push in here. Giza finding ultimate value on really just slowing things down. And then somehow Kumi activating yet again, just like we saw in the previous map, might have been able to find that final kill as well. The timing just not affording Nightblood Gaming that much room for error. And it's a very early Hunter's Fury. Already pings up Smiley there as it does stall the push just for a pregnant pause.
Ange continuing to try to farm from here. Far more isolated than before, though. This is an island, but the Toxic Orb is just going to hand him a free pick. Thank you very much, Smiley. And we'll keep searching now that Zerona's here to help. No more flashes. And the spike's still stuck. NBG having to slow it back down again, but on MU's terms.
So difficult for Nightblood Gaming to do this. They have to wait for the Viper's wall to come up. Or actually, no, we'll just walk up and get the spike down. Okay, you know what? Hey, that works too.
I don't know about this game, man. I just don't know. Now the screen's set up so that NBG can reset for the post-plant fight, and then Note chooses to pit. Very awkward timing that NBG is handing MU here, and so they'll just try to weaponize yellow as much as they can. Oh, Kumi extension on top of it. That is gorgeous from him. Trying to waste every bit of space there, and so eventually Nightblood will make it work, and they're back on the board.
Oh, and just the smile on Kumi's face, like, yeah, you saw what I did. It just pops out. The Killjoy has 14 kills. Matching Giza's 14 kills. The Sentinels being really the ones to kind of lead the charge here. I was going to say, like, I'm glad that we got that replay because I really like the value that Ange has been able to get off the other side. But when it comes push to shove, like, Kumi has been heating it up. And so Nightblood Gaming, they're able to scrape away with the round. An awkward buy from Maryville University coming in onto this one. Sunakar will have this outlaw here, which should be a one body shot on every single member of Maryville University. Let's see how they want to respond. It's going to be an A-side push. Lockdown gets deployed.
Just going to wait it out. Not going to push on top of it at all this time. Far different from the other pushes we've seen from NBG with these lockdowns. And MU will get out right at the end there. Car set up to try to take an easy pick off. MU just gonna get someone in the way there, but
yeah,
no, you've got this held down. Very clean from Nightblood. And it is sealed and sealed pretty immediately. Funny how the economy just kind of immediately like slipped away after one crumple round. That just goes to show how close it's been this whole time.
Okay. Yeah, there we go. I was just about to say, that was an unbelievable headshot onto Screwface there. Even Screwface couldn't really believe that one, but yeah, 6-6 in this half. Very back and forth between these two teams. First, we see Nightblood Gaming, they come out swinging. They're the gladiators in the arena. And then suddenly Maryville University, a David and Goliath situation. David coming in on top for a little bit. And then suddenly it's just a ping pong back and forth between these two teams, leading us to kind of where we're at right now. And honestly, it just feels like whichever team has the better positioning tend to win out. We're seeing these moments where it's basically just the Slayer. Oh, there we go. Got the Screwface freak out of that crazy headshot coming through. But yeah, once again, Nightblood Gaming swapping over to the defense now. And Maryville University are going to be on the attack. Let's see how the barrier orb gets utilized here on the offense. But Kumi has already made his way through.
Wow. What a strange crunch both teams are trying to set up on this barrier orb at the moment, and neither of them are the focal point. It's Screwface in front of this toxic screen. That's up to 3 before he runs out of bullets. Crazy pistol performance from that IGL, and that may single-handedly give NBG the edge for the remainder of this map. And Kumi letting MU know it. Nope, gonna try and deal with this all by his lonesome. Renz having a world of hurt to deal in order to save this round, and it starts there.
Does still have the dash available. Might be able to find a timing, just walk through this site, but yeah, with that going down here, the gap has been completely opened. The turret will give the information though, so Renz should be able to get the spike down. But let's see how this one plays out. It's gonna be 3v1 onto this retake. Smiley with full utility minus that owl drone.
Not many options of where to go off of that, and so NBG just take the first swing, as does Renz. Goes about the way you'd expect. Nightblood, huge start by Screwface to give them an early edge here and an early lead in the second half. Once again, both these teams playing to keep their VCL season alive.
And yeah, I mean, once again, just the fact that Screwface walks away with 3 kills in the midst of this alone, by the way. Like, there's not even reinforcements behind there. Just opens up the rest of the round to make it so much easier for Nightblood Gaming to walk away with it. Maryville University now starting to feel some of the pressure here. As you know what, this is going to be their round that they decide to just save everything here. Just go for that dirty third round. Make sure you've got that full rifle buy up. And Sunakar already getting aggressive. Known for this sniper rifle play. bit cool on that first map, but lately has been starting to kind of heat it up here on Icebox, on the box. So let's see what we want to do here is Giza walks forwards and catches Smiley off guard, which is a bulldog and a free sight.
Yeah, way too much was given over thanks to Carr creeping up mid, but that does manage to get Serona and a free peek to Son of Carr, and he's gladly going to take that. Still a gun diff persisting that lets NBG kind of walk into this for free. So a lot of responsibility placed on Renz with this Sheriff to try to farm away some easy frags on the one entry point that NBG has. But they're going to step heavy. Yeah, Chloric making good space and a decent first kill onto the one who is low, Son of Carr. Can't grab a thing. Renz playing keep away on the spike. NBG's running out of time here. Note having to tap it, exit on the smoke, and the vulnerability will hand him over to Renz. And so again, Maryville, out of nowhere, come away with the perfect round in the perfect time. Renz, 3 kills. You kidding me, dude?
Okay, we know the drill.
I don't know whether or not to say that that was just a pacing issue coming through from Nightblood Gaming. It felt a little strange when they were taking so much time to get themselves set up and nice and coordinated. Meanwhile, like Maryville University, understanding that this is just a save round, they just kind of floor it, but at the same time set up the flank so deep. And yeah, it's just weird timings that work out perfectly for Maryville University. As soon as Chloric is able to get that flank online as well, you see Maryville University immediately just kind of jump on it. So great communication coming between those teams. We see Screwface is going to be able to pick up that ultimate orb, 2 away from having null command. But yeah, like Nightblood Gaming, sure they grab the pistol, but Maryville send them right back, tying up the game once again at 7-7.
So it'll be NBG on this shoddy buy.
Deploying drone.
SMU still taking their time with it. Yeah, gonna try and nip these early bits of util in the bud so that NB doesn't get away with anything cheeky before the plan even starts. They've already brought the clock down to 60 seconds as well. So a decent start to the round by NBG by shutting down that owl drone and not taking any damage, actually.
And note this time, holding a crossfire here with Kumi. The 2 juggernauts of the server, but with that's a lot of good information. The cavalry from Maryville University have arrived.
Nice high-low setup by Maryville. Should be able to deal with the crowd here pretty easily.
30 seconds left.
And that barrier orb allows for an even easier plan. Oh, Kumi!
Down B.
What a gap! How does he find that? Takes a little more damage control. And that's just enough time for Screwface to get a flank. We're all getting away with dumb stuff today. Now Smiley's on top of the spike. What a fun 2v2 we've got now. And NBG are gonna double up on top of the lane. Smiley, where have you gone? That's another thrifty for the books. And I mean, one of the few opportunities that Maryville had to be able to have a decent clutch onto this match again, gone at the hands of Nightblood, who take the lead back and are just 5 rounds out from making it to top 6.
There's a bunch of smooth criminals in the lobby right now. How are they finding these timings? Just somehow making their way through the proper seams on both sides. This round, very apparent. I thought for sure there was going to be a little bit of a watch from Zerona. But then, yeah, just the Silva slips by. Oh, surprise, I'm right here on yellow. Didn't see me coming. And then Maryville University just get completely shut down. It's unconventional to say the very least coming out between these 2 teams, back and forth on each of these rounds. But finally we get a proper gun round coming in here. No slapping Ange out of the server right as the round starts here. Son of Carr though, looking for an opportunity under a lot of fire, so has to back up with that operator.
That was a great approach by Chloric to force him down early on this operator. He's got to play uber safe, but Giza again way further up than NBG expects, and he'll use it to take down 3. What is going on? Note finally back for the real fight, and he's got to take it immediately. Everyone's here. This is the only chance he'll get, and he'll take it. Zerona's gone. Giza, half HP, has a res, and he'll use it. Walled away. Good threat. That's 4 kills for Giza. Looking for the ace, and Kumi doesn't want to give it to him. He's just going to give MU the round. My
Oh,
God,
man.
this is as crazy as it gets, and we're talking sudden death, folks.
Is like Mercury in retrograde or something? Like, what's going on today? Yeah, just unbelievable. A very classic start to this map, and then Giza's like Thanos walking in there, just like, I'll do it myself. Gets a resurrection online. Tailwind gets utilized, finds the kill through the smoke, and gets the ace as well. You know, you don't... Okay, I love me a good battle sage, don't get me wrong, but Giza just bringing it to another level, has 20 kills so far, and genuinely was the tip of the spear on that round to walk his way into that site and just kill people. Like, no utility or anything. And you know what, like, at this point, like, it is so hard to predict how some of these rounds are going to go, because it really just comes down to these individual moments of greatness coming out from these players.
Yeah, this is really just moments of brilliance for both sides. Oh, Son of Car looking for an early one, shut down quick. And that was the hero rifle, no? That's the one thing that NBG could have invested in this, and yet it's Note that finds another stupid kill. This time on a spawn lurk from MU, and that's not the only spawn lurk that MU has. A Cloric will leave, go over to the A stack. It's strong enough now, it can start burning through. Giza can use a little bit of utility before just W keying again. And we'll take over the A site. We're back to a little bit of conventional Valorant for the time being. NBG stack has a pretty poor health pool and even worse guns, but gonna just go bowling with this flashbang in Serona. Did they flash themselves?
Yup. Okay, I don't know that for a fact, but at the same time, looking at the fact that Maryville University don't have flashes, yes. That was...
I was like, hold on, let me do the math real quick.
Oh, what is going on? Yeah, so it was a team flash there that allowed Zerona to just take that timing. Maybe that was just because, you know, with the KO changes, now it activates after bouncing, not a set timer. So something silly could have been going on there. But you know what? Everyone get into the clown car right now, because this is crazy going between these two teams. Maryville University already pushed up here, but Kubi ready to punish Ange. So giving them a leg in this round.
Just barely able to pull their guns out in time, and now MU's just got to pump their foot on the gas, but just when they do that, Note sets up the pit. And now you've got Rifle, suddenly NBG, boastful once again, to try to tie this back up. That's how you use a flashbang. Screwface, it's okay, it's just for attention, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Spike goes down now, so they are really committed to this. A couple of ultimates come out as well. Smiley hopefully able to take this lockdown out. Otherwise, yeah, not able to do that. That's going to get awkward.
Yeah, that's misconstrued. Now you have to slow down so much heavier if you're Nightblood. That'll cost you quite a bit, but still not the pit. Just barely able to sustain it. And Kumi back online. Screwface trying to hit the spike early on here. But too much of the fight to still manage. No matter, Kumi can manage it all himself. Except for Zerona, this Hunter's Fury. But do you spend it on the lockdown or the spike? There might not be enough time to hold the spike. The lockdown about to activate, but the spike, yeah, can't be fully sprayed down. And Son of Car will have just enough time to hold on to that defusal. NBG, I mean, they keep 4 standing, so what can I say?
Yeah, I do think that playing off of the ultimates that were available for Maryville University, that was the right way to go about it. I was going to say Smiley a little bit preemptive with the Hunter's Fury, uses the Hunter's Fury, and as soon as it gets activated, Cloric's like, wait a second, this is a free lockdown that I get to utilize right now, if not flush out Kumi's lockdown. And it did really get down to the wire there. I mean, good setup, keeping Zerona in the back line alive, making sure that the Hunter's Fury was online. But Nightblood Gaming, they just walk right up in Maryville's faces. And of course, it's a back and forth match between these two teams. Yet again, 9-9. Son of Car looking for an opportunity. Will find just that as Renz goes down very early in this round.
And he hasn't been able to get those first bloods on this op very often so far this match. So already another switch up for NBG that they can play off of. MU, just going to take that as a sign that they can at least grab this orb for free. And maybe a little more of sight. And Giza will just go back and get this res as well. So full reset for both sides, but NBG gonna waver over to the B site with his heavier stack, despite the fact that there's still a good minute left on the clock.
And now I imagine they should be waiting for the fuel to kind of pull themselves back up. Cloric, though, will take a lot of this space onto this A side. Still plenty of time to call a turnaround. if they decide to do that, what my eyes are looking at are Kumi in middle. Kumi's been shooting. Kumi can really shut down a lot of this momentum. But Cloric is so deep in onto this site. I imagine this will be an A side pivot.
No doubt. Oh, Smiley shuts down Cloric, though. So no more leaning to play into.
30 seconds left.
Flash.
Here.
No step out on the screen either. NBG playing very respectful, and that will lead to their downfall. Renz finding gaps! And Giza now having the confidence to walk into it as well. MU press the narrative the moment you think that they can't, and now they've set up shop. All you have is the altitude to play with, and Kumi's gonna give himself away by throwing these nades. That's an easy find for Giza, and he's already spotted Smiley as well. The recon bolt, gonna sell this into the drop. Smiley resets, 1v2. Nobody peeking on top. But Zerona having a shock dart to hold on to. First tap on the spike, Ward in the recon, and a jump. Second tap, the shock dart. And that'll be all she wrote. So Maryville get up to 10, take the lead back once more. But it continues to be by inches.
Yeah, and I gotta say right there, that was all because of Renz on that round. I'm liking to see this Jet get activated a little bit more. Not be afraid to take that space, play a little bit more like they're having fun, getting those kills and getting out so quickly. It feels like rather than a lot of these other agents that are a lot more stable, a lot more grounded, we're seeing now Renz really get activated, getting, first of all, revenge on Son of Kar for being shot down so early on in the round, but then just being kind of like an ever-present duelist on the site, being something that Nightblood Gaming have to watch out for. And then, of course, Giza, you know, just kind of still fragging out on stage. I don't know any more than that. But Son of Kar investing in the operator again this round. Blade Storm will be activated as well. Does have enough to continue to buy up on these next ones. But yeah, that's something that if Maryville University, they have to be careful about, especially if they walk into the crosshairs of that Jet.
This is so gutsy for Nightblood Gaming. Big stack that they're just gonna confidence play into, and Kumi and no grab theirs. MU cannot fight into this. They cannot aptly punish. Instead, they just have to try and create their own territory and create advantage off of that. Maybe get some easy sight lines as Kumi's down to 21, searching for a free peek, but they are not gonna get it just yet.
Take flight.
Salvo drone from Smiley, though, should reconfirm exactly what is going on here. He's just walked through the wall. Cloric, though, is going to be taking point. All the members of Nightblood Gaming playing very respectful right now.
Yeah, way back. That first swing out catches Kumi's last bit of the health pool. It's all on Giza! And he's up to 4 again!
Wow.
Just gonna go res. Not even worth it to go for the 2v1. We'd rather have everything to get this spike back, but with 18 seconds to go, you've got to do it quick. You've got to kill Kar now. And so they turn it into a high-low swing to give Giza his ace. And Maryville 11.
Second ace in this map, and I'm pretty sure the resurrection happened on round 19 and then immediately finds enough kills on the previous round, finds enough kills on these rounds without picking up the ultimate orb to get another resurrection online. Giza has just been lighting up the server. Once again, finding that ace, getting closer to bringing that ultimate back online. And yeah, that's a celebration and a half if I've ever seen one. But great job as Maryville University finally break free of old patterns and find 2 rounds in a row.
Son of Kar, yet again, holding with this operator, very close, and catches Cloric on the rush down. Clearly, MU did not expect Kar to be as confident this time now that they have the rifles again. And yet he is. Has the blades as well, so can manifest this into a fight basically whenever he wants to. MU right in front of this screen. They want to cause that immediate pressure with so much time even left. Giza's barrier will facilitate those knives. NBG want to toss everything into this, and Renz dealt with swiftly thanks to Kar jumping up with the updraft. Smiley holding close on the pedestal, and that'll net one more. Enough time for Kar to reposition to heaven and grab a third with the blades. And that's as good of a reset as you could ask for. Ange alone, pit available, and he's gonna use it. MU want it here and now, and Ange will try to make it happen. circling the pit. NBG taking the high ground. Carr ready to dive in with these blades on the corner. Ange covering that closest center. But the second the wall is burned, one shot's all it takes. And Nightblood's up to 10 with tools to boot.
I was going to say, I would have liked to see potentially Ange just kind of look for a single kill, confirm that single kill, then pop the Viper's Pit. Makes it a lot more doable given the current circumstance there. But it's just note, as soon as the Barrier Orb goes down, I'm not even sure if he was really inside of the Viper's Pit or not, but just kind of did a stray bullet and immediately finding the head of the Viper, shutting down the pit. A Son of Carr playing a little bit more aggressive this time. Love to see that. I just highlighted how Renz has started to kind of heat up on their own, but Son of Carr really just kind of earning that one back. And it looks like Noda did just walk into it and found the back of the Viper. So great job from Nightblood Gaming to keep this competitive. The economy not broken on the side of Maryville University. More than enough to be able to buy up on this round. As Nightblood Gaming, they're right back into it. Another operator in the hands of Son of Carr. And honestly, has been starting to make it really work in some of these rounds on this defense.
Might be a scrappy buy for both teams by the end of this round, regardless of who wins it.
Deploying drone.
So, Maryville want to make sure that they at least drag as much down with it as possible, no matter what happens. Owl drone early on here from Smiley to confirm the stack, considering that so many members of NBG are already here on the A site. And with the screen gone, you have very limited tools to play keep away. Let's go for the slowdown to do some early chip damage. Recon bolt not caught by Zerona. Nice little tag to scare them a little bit. And there is the barrier orb. There is the setup, and there is the spray down from NBG. It all comes together for them, fully prepared, and no explosion from MU for this first fight. Now comes the second one, though, and the snake bite on top of the nade is going to be able to deal with Zerona. Meanwhile, the rest of MU able to pierce through, though, get some opening sight lines. Ange grabs the spike as well. That space still not fully managed, and in fact, after he can creep onto this site just a little heavier.
30 seconds left.
Oh, they're just gonna run on Ange, going for the plant. Renz selling the reposition here, and NBG just double holding it. Alskar holds with the operator. And this seems like a pinch that NBG can manage, but it still has to be active, and Carr has to land his shots. Ange freely upstairs, drops back down. Both cloud bursts used by Renz. It's a one and done, and Ange and Renz are one and done. Ange clears through, and Maryville are up to 12, making it work.
I'm genuinely shocked by how that kind of played out there. But I did want to actually commend how Maryville University, despite the wave of utility being tossed at them, stayed alive and were able to dodge all of it. Most importantly, just kind of staying alive. And then, you know, hey, if you're Nightblood Gaming, we use all of this utility. Surely we flushed out the entire site. But then Maryville University very quickly just get right back into it. And Carr missing some of those shots were absolutely key for Maryville to be able to win out that round. Opened it up for Ange to get that flank online, to play off of Renz properly. And now Maryville University ready to see that third map, which would be Corrode. They just have to get one more round. And given Nightblood Gaming's bye, you know, they're on that eco, but I don't want to count them out yet, because we've seen some absolute shenanigans from this team tonight. And absolute shenanigans mean that anything can happen. So right now, Nightblood Gaming, they just need 2 rounds, force that overtime scenario, bring it back to the last time these two teams fought on Icebox, and we saw that crazy overtime strat. They're capable of it, and it may happen depending on how Nightblood Gaming play this next round.
Yeah, nothing to lose at this point for Nightblood. To get this done here and now would be so integral for their bottom line, for their path in Challengers as a whole.
Placing alarm bot.
Maryville, in the meanwhile, need to take care of this here and now to get us to Corrode. Very proactive Hunter's Fury from Smiley, going fishing for a stack, can't find it. Son of Carr, once again held early, keeps it going, but Renz catches him on the fadeaway and turns it into a 3v4. But you've got some extra rifles now if you're NBG. 2 of these 4 players holding on to them, and MU not fully having this site, having to hold close as NBG are already here for it.
Most importantly, Giza goes down. as well as Ange. A lot of kind of deterrent utility to kind of slow things down. Screwface, though, will be able to find two. Null Command gets activated.
Nothing can be used at all here, and the flash onto Renz is very decisive. 1 down, 2 to go. Floric holding steady. Felled by Kumi early, and Zerona has to give himself away because of it. Very clean from Nightblood to be able to hold on to rifles and force Maryville to basically use everything left in the tank for this last round as well. It'll be scraps and scrapes to get NBG out of regulation and into another chance at getting this done in 2.
And most importantly there, I have to comment on the fact that they get Note to be the person to get the ultimate online. Kumi was 1 away from the lockdown as well, but given the fact that Zerona has the Hunter's Fury online, hey, let's just invest in the pit instead. A little bit more to work off of. And these engagements looking a lot more clean from Nightblood Gaming, and they just need to have 1 more round, as this time it's Maryville University who won't be able to buy up fully. We're seeing 2 stickers come in. Renz has the Blade Storm. Imagining we're going to see that brought to the table to even things out a little bit. But Giza going down so early on makes it so difficult for Maryville to be able to find anything, and that was all because of Son of Kar.
Yeah, they dump to try to divert onto mid, but the turret's going to give that away early on. It's all on Renz, and he'll find Kumi to start. No, shuts down Ange, but Renz still on a rampage, and he'll shut down that trade back too. Next is Smiley, and he can shut that down, but it's a 3v3 as MU will take the site. And now the lockdown to boot to waste some extra time as NBG get the stack back together.
Most importantly, the 2 players on Nightblood Gaming with ultimates get taken out first. And so there's a lot of tools for Maryville to work with.
As Zerona still with his Hunter's Fury as well. Gonna play a heavy distance back. As is Chloric. Giza, the only one up front. And he's been fragging. He won't anymore. Smiley swiftly deals with him. And the swing stack from NBG is good so far. Has to be good twice over. The Hunter's Fury gonna do a whole lot of stall though. And there's that first leg of it. Has to burn through that clock. And then they've just got to hold it down for the fight. It's going to be tough. But after the first chip, Smiley holding it. The shock dart's going to get there, though. No, it doesn't. He misses the fling. And with 0.2 seconds to go, Nightblood save regulation and take us to overtime on Icebox yet again. That is the second time that Zerona has failed to have a last-ditch setup on this solo for a post plan that could have gotten MU out of this game.
Yeah, the fact that the shock dart just falls a little bit flat, just falls a little bit short there, is the only reason we see this go to overtime. I gotta shout out Renz for that one, making sure this stays alive. But yeah, I think you wanted to have a little bit of a bounce there, but it just falls short. And we even see Son of Kar kind of playing a little bit of body blocking to try and make that one work. But it will force out overtime. If you're Maryville University right now, you gotta calm things down because that could be a little bit of a tilter. You gotta make sure to win this. If you wanna see map number 3, Nightblood Gaming, though, they are cruising. They've been gifted this overtime right now, and they are ready to shut down the series and continue to advance in playoffs.
Ready to fully police the most conventional Kumi insert so far this game, and it's happening in overtime, round 1. Threats early met. Renz on the cubby of the lane here. NBG not giving anything away just yet, but they're about to, and Renz pops ahead, gets out with the tailwind, goes for a second fight, forced to with the help of the Cloudburst, and he will get away with Screwface too!
This just became so much more difficult for Nightblood Gaming and losing Kumi. Now they have to engage off this. No smokes. Recon dart available, but Son of Kar does Son of Kar things. This is still possible for Nightblood Gaming.
Takes a village. And a scrappy win yet again in the mismatch. A lot of preventative stuff, but it can't be thrown far enough. So NBG just press a little farther forward. Kar, the first in actor, Smiley on the outskirts, and it turns to a 2v2. Giza challenges, and it's felled as well. How does this keep happening? 2v1. Zerona yet again having to do it all, and Son of Kar is tired of it. One more round for Nightblood Gaming to fell yet another demon and keep their ascension hopes alive.
And I gotta say, right now, Maryville University, they're really hurting without having those flashes available. The fact that they just kind of have to dry swing these. Renz trying to drag the team across the finish line here. Finding 2 very quick kills on the opening. Gives the life up, but doesn't matter. Takes out key players on the engagement. and the rest of Maryville University not able to follow up. Giza, who has been having a crazy round, not able to find any value there, while the rest of Nightblood Gaming, they're all slowly, progressively getting better round after round. Kubi already going hunting, could find this flank online, but Screwface going down. That's Giza back in full action.
Oh, yet again overly active, but the opposite is Note, finding 2 on this backstab, and no one's peeking it! Another immediate trade back on the personnel to sacrifice the site. Note's been found, but now he's gonna have help. And Cloric might not know that. Carr may be the first threat he faces. Instead, they'll deal with what they know will be the weaker problem, the site itself. They can extend into that. Carr's given away. They now know both of those positions. Gotta come down to Smiley's activity. And in Kitchen, he's already been found. Maryville manages every fight except Carr. Can he do it again? Renz takes a whisper to kill him at the moment. The healing orb will fix that. Caught his back. Double swing available, and Carr can't manage. We will go again. Maryville save face.
Ooh, wouldn't have it any either way. Great stuff coming through. Nightblood Gaming specifically Note, such good discipline. Maryville must be feeling the pressure a little bit. Such an easy position, such a clearable position, just not checked at all. And Note, almost able to seal the deal for that round. So this map, this entire series, and still Maryville University, backs against the wall, are ready to take this yet again. We go again, Nightblood Gaming back onto the attack here. A lot of pings on the minimap towards this B site. This time though, Renz is going to be front and center here to try and find a little bit of value just off of Giza's contact.
Once again, relying on that swing back, but the flash will deal with a lot of the threat. Double initiator circling Renz. And even more of the pressure on Giza. But it's all alleviated as NBG's real creep up is towards A main. Note and Kumi have made their way right up to center stage. It's all about getting through this bottleneck with what util is left. Screwface, only 1 flash left in the tank. It's got to be used well. And MU have kept the 3 stack here the whole time. Late shock dart, everyone's way ahead of that. And they may not expect it. Shock dart tossed out preventatively. That may be a whole lot of damage. It is. And Kumi and Carr taking a chip. Now, having to cross through the toxic screen. Only 40 seconds to go. MU may have slowed down enough. It comes down to the fight. Entrance from Son of Kari, safe for a moment. Zerona the spray down, but Smiley lines it back up. And Ange can't find a proper angle. Screwface can, and keeps the trade war going. Enough of sight, but the spike's still not down, and so MU can reset. Go for another leg of timing. Snakebite not available for Ange, so it's got to be after the spike goes down. And Smiley, in the meanwhile, finds Renz on the opening. It's yet again bits and pieces, inches, nuts and bolts. But it's Nightblood Gaming that take the onus again. And they'll use that to press with 3 into Ange with the help of this null command that Screwface has been able to farm this round. Doubling back for the post plant that is no doubt theirs. With what is left, 2 shock darts and a fragment to themselves. And I don't think any of them will be able to miss any of these lineups, but Ange finding Kumi on the spray back. That's 1 leg of the war done. Smiley now set up with the recon, as Ange with this toxic screen is able to skirt a lot of it, but Screwface, thanks to that recon proc, gives NBG another match point here on Icebox.
Classic Icebox stuff there on that A site. Just play off that utility, play so smart, and you're going to be able to walk away with everything. Maryville University in yet another familiar position here as they need to make sure that they're able to get it. History could really repeat itself right now, depending on how things go on this map. As a reminder, Maryville won 16-14, and quite frankly, we are getting really close to that score line. Let's see what Maryville have locked in the chamber. They're going to be using their last time out now as they get set up for this one. But like Tenrek, this has been a crazy match between these 2 teams, and it is so evened out. It's so hard to predict which one is going to be able to finally drag themselves across the finish line.
Maryville is 1 round away from their Challengers season ending and 3 rounds away from a map 3. That is the fragility that we are at. And for that reason, let's calm some nerves a little bit for this collegiate team that, again, has no doubt had so much pressure on their shoulders lately, coming back into the collegiate environment as school has started back up. So much that is likely on their minds. This tournament certainly included. But for NBG, I mean, this is everything. They've been preparing for this with every off-season tournament, with every scrim, with every bit of improvement that they go for. This is all they've wanted. And they have One more round to get a step closer to getting it.
Ooh, Son of Car taking very far forwards positioning, but great adjustment this time from Maryville University, using that utility to kind of flush that jet off, so they've got a little bit more room. But look at this advanced positioning from Note. It's aggressive from Nightblood Gaming this time.
And might be caught by the most frustrating side stab, but everyone from MU is still watching this, and Note has to get out of dodge. Caught by but not the full health pool, and now the snake bite to try to deter, but Note will get out scot-free. Now, where does he decide to hold? Yeah, just spraying back, has no idea how many are chasing him. The answer is right now 2, but that can change. Minute's still on the clock.
Unfortunately, didn't get any of the bullets in there, so Note just took a little bit of damage, thankfully able to escape away based on Andrew's positioning here, and at least gets a bit of the util out. While Maryville University, they've now got an opportunity to move in here. They just got to be mindful of Son of Car perched up here.
He's been here before, and he won't find nearly as much this time. Next threat is Smiley, having to get through this toxic screen yet again. And Smiley gets his free one, but Giza presses way too quick again. And he and Renz will each get theirs. Once again, a 3v4 in favor of the attackers. And they're able to hold the plant. Not a lot of util in the kit here for NBG either to come back onto this. They've got to be purely fighters.
Giza as well, one ultimate orb away from getting Resurrect online again. Bring somebody back in this fight.
In the right position to do it as well. Car brought down to a crisp. It's all Giza. It is all Giza.
No way, man. No.
It just might be a 16-14, Mark.
Just walks out and finds so many kills. I thought for sure Giza at that point, you find a kill, you got the Resurrect online, you hop your way out of there, you know the rest of your team is alive, you play safe, you get set up to use that Resurrect to make this a lot more of an uncomfortable situation. Instead, decides, yeah, I've been feeling pretty hot this game. Just walks completely out, finds one kill, finds the second one, and sure, Car finally gets that. But still, Giza, amazing performance. 33 kills on the board right now. And yeah, we're going to be seeing a tied and true strategy. The wall comes out online, but a lot of respect being paid to Nightblood Gaming this time as Maryville, they back themselves up.
Yeah, way up. They are going to just let NBG do all of this manual clearing and not let themselves try to punish any of it. Just have everything they need to take back that B site if that's where NBG chooses to go. But shoot, they'll let them psych themselves out first.
Slow as ever at this point. I gotta say, in this overtime, a lot less shenanigans have kind of been going on. Feels a lot more like we've moved into just honest Valorant between these two teams. It's following a lot more like engagement protocols, people watching these different angles. Both these teams have really just kind of evolved since the start of the map. And tensions are as high as ever. Maryville University still fighting to stay alive in the series.
Kinds of rounds you save your very best for. Right here, right now. Once again, bowling with this flash to just completely alienate. Oh, but the plant is faked. And A has been taken up by NBG. Look at this space. It's gonna be close, Marks. We got 20 seconds and MU's already on the way back. This might be a huge fumble. Zerona catching, Chloric catching, and MU have it all shut down. 13 seconds now as the Spike still desperately trying to get onto site. And Kumi trying to get an opening frag. Screwface trying to make some noise. But everyone from Maryville is here. The Spike can't go down. And Maryville have their first lead in overtime.
It was looking like it was a bit of a panic call being made there for Nightblood Gaming. Immediately just... oh my goodness, we got to swap sites right now. We've got all this room, not enough time on the clock. And then once again, the Maryville University, the tried and true stat of just standing your ground, not over rotating, catching the rotation around thanks to Chloric's positioning was perfect. And at that point, it's not even we got to kill all of them. It's we just have to kill enough of them to make them so uncomfortable, make it so that they can't win this fight. And there were moments there where Nightblood Gaming were looking like they were going to be able to pull themselves back into that fight. And yet, great job from Maryville to shut things down. 15-14, the first time I believe we've seen Maryville University in the lead in overtime, and Son of Car gets spotted out by the chicken already.
Is it a 16-14 for Maryville again? Is it off of that aggression again? Your double sentinels right in front of this toxic screen. No spike in hand, but 3 NBG members paying close attention to them. But Carr is not moved from this spot up in mid, and that will be the linchpin, the ultimate decider of how much advantage NBG can boast. The 3-stack on A site may just be where MU ends up. They are fully prepped for this, and Carr does not have an opening frag. Maryville are prepped, and now the stack waltzes into another 5v4, another man advantage for the attack. Can they turn it into a game win? Chloric finds Smiley first up. Screwface position already given away, but with all the util toss, MU see that as a sign to dip right back out over to the B site, and now it's completely vacated. Kumi in panic mode trying to head back, reactivates the turret at least, but has the only opening on yellow. The rest is not guaranteed, and now with the toxic screen, it's got to be a full reset from NBG.
And Maryville University should do this, and all the meanwhile, Ren's on the lurk, finds Screwface. Right now, it could just be up to Kumi to close this round out as Note goes down as well. Maryville University looking for the win.
Still 3 more to burn through, and a million angles to clear. Kumi, in a near impossible situation, Maryville look to have guaranteed this. Any swing can confirm this here and now to get Maryville to map 3, to give them one more chance at holding on to this tournament. And Giza will lead the way there. It is indeed another 16-14 Icebox. Maryville continue their endless winning streak on this godforsaken